So we're into the final episode of the first season of Back to Prem, and we've taken Middlesbrough to the security of the Premier League in 3 seasons. But let's see how the season finishes off as we dump into the game. And it's all been going pretty well, to be honest. So the last episode we finished at the 2-2 draw with Bournemouth and said we're going to be playing April and May to close out the season and see how we get on. Now we're looking at potentially leaving Middlesbrough in European football, which is absolutely unbelievable. So it has been going very, very well. So we're going to finish off all these fixtures. We're going to come back after these fixtures finish, and then we're going to have a quick review of the whole season. We'll go through the end of year thing with all the awards like we always do. And then we're going to go back and look at where we started, who we've signed, how they've done, who's performed really well, what's the difference been, and things like that. But obviously financial wise, we are in a little bit of trouble. I'm spending about 100 grand over the wage budget, which is a little bit bad, I guess, but financially we're actually doing fine. We've lost a bit of money this season, but all the money at the end of it with prize money and stuff will make up for that. The club vision, as we always look at, very disappointed that we're not using the club's youth system anymore. We're struggling with the wage budget, and we failed to reach the 4th round of the EFL Cup. Not that I'm really fussed about that at all. We've got an A+ rating with the board. It's all going absolutely brilliantly well. Thanks mainly to Ryan Brewster's goals, who is starting up front in our next game. 17 goals in 25 appearances. Well, actually 30 appearances. It's actually very, very good from him. But we'll go through all the signings that we've done at the end of the series. And yeah, it's going really well. I never thought we'd be this high up with Middlesbrough after only 3 seasons. But anyway, we're going to go and play these games offline, and then we'll be back to go through all of the results and the end of the season. So I thought I'd give you one live game in this whole series. It'll be the final game of the final season in the series. We'll be playing Watford away from home. As Rudy just poked his head up right next to my chair to say hello. Hello, mate. But yeah, it's been very good, and it's good to announce that we have qualified for the Europa League with Middlesbrough in 3 seasons of taking them over. That is absolutely incredible, and in fact it's given me a lot of good feeling about the Folkestone Invicta save, that once we get to the Premier League with the money, I'll be able to invest it wisely and we should be able to get into Europe quite quickly, but who knows. There's still the league to be decided between Liverpool and Man United. They're on 1 point separating them, and they're both playing some different games today. Man City get their 3rd spot and Arsenal get a 4th spot. Chelsea and us are fighting out for 5th in today's game. We're playing Watford, and they are playing... Who are they playing? They are playing Southampton, who have already been relegated, so they'll probably win that one. For fixtures and form-wise, we're not too bad. 4-2 loss against Everton. Moise Keane couldn't do very much against his former team. Aston Villa, though, we smashed them 4-0 with a hat-trick from Ryan Brewster. Brentford, we beat them 2-0, Ryan Brewster and Ruiz getting on the score sheet. And Chelsea, we beat them 2-0 with Ruiz and Brewster getting on the score sheet again. Arsenal overpowered us 2-0, and we come into today's game against Watford as the final game of the season. And I was going to start Moise Keane, but I think I'll probably stick with Abel Ruiz because they're playing well together at the moment. So I think we'll put Moise Keane in from the bench. Jick still comes in because Montiel's picked up an injury. Moro is unfit because he's been out for 2 months. Perez will go on the bench just because I really like him. And I think that will be that, I think. Yeah, let's get into the game. So we'll submit that. Yeah, he's lacking match fitness, but that's not a problem. Paredes comes in again. He's actually been playing quite well now in central midfield, which is good. And this, you'll soon see why I've been able to fly through all the games, and it appears that, you know, it's not taking me very long to do this series. It's taken me quite a while to do this series. That's why it's split over 3 episodes a week. But let's just go out there passionately. The fans have been fantastic for us. So let's go and give them a bit of a send-off. But you'll soon realise why we're getting through it very, very quickly. Because the highlights are this quick, the game is very quick, and there's no replays, so it's very good. Pierre into Sarr. Sarr is so good on this game, by the way. If you ever get a chance to sign him, do it, because he is ridiculously overrated. Rodriguez into Wood. Ricardo Rodriguez, good ball over the top into Brewster. Beats his man. Brewster's in. Good save from Butland. Ricardo Rodriguez has been nominated for Premier League Player of the Season, which is absolutely incredible, according that we picked him up relatively cheap for how good he's been. We've been absolutely superb. They've put a ball in. Eric Bowen's a Decore's there into Terrier. What a tackle from Eric Boy. I think we've just made some amazing signings. Let me know down below who you think have been the best signing of the save. Obviously, in 3 years, we've come and we've still got Randolph in goal. We've still got Wood at the back. We've still got Jixtel in the squad. We've still got Ashley Fletcher in the squad. We've still got Boller in the squad. There's a lot of people in and around the squad that are here from the beginning. And although we've changed the starting 11 mostly, we haven't really changed the squad that much. As Brewster's in! Oh, he's hit it straight at Butland. But I'd love us to finish above Chelsea. It would be a good little end to the season. Let's give them a little bit of a demand more shout. But it's been really, really good, actually. I've really enjoyed doing a save knowing I've only got a limited amount of time, because it's very, very rare. Those that are fans of the channel and subscribe to the channel for a while will know that I take one club from really low down and build them up. As Ruiz is in, oh, Butland just touched it past the post. But I normally take them from a long way down the pyramid up as high as I can go before the next Football Manager's released. This, having 3 years where it's like, yeah, not really caring about the money too much, is obviously a massive help, because you can go out and just spend it and sign people on ludicrous wages. But it's been really strange knowing that, like, 3 years, right, we've really got to make this count. It's more about everything in the background of the game, I would suggest, in terms of, like, so the training, I've set up all individual training, I've set up this tactic and tweaked it and sorted it out how I want it to work. Overall, Zinketti is probably going to score here. Oh, he doesn't. Randolph makes a good save. So it's just been really good fun. It's been really good fun to do it with why I would never manage Middlesbrough at the start of a save normally, so that's been really good. And I think that's what's going to introduce me a lot to clubs doing this series. I think is going to introduce me to a lot of clubs that I don't think I would ever really manage normally. I've got no interest in managing Middlesbrough normally. Why would I? I have no affiliation to them. They're not a small club. Oh, Nathan Wood, 3rd goal of the season. Lovely stuff. Yeah, I've got no interest in managing them, and I don't really do journeyman saves. I do enjoy journeyman saves, but it's not. Oh, we're on fire. His 1st goal of the season in the last game of the season. Absolutely superb. But yeah, as I said, it just makes it really interesting for me to manage different players. Let's bring Horta on. In fact, no, we won't. Let's bring Jose Perez on into that role there, and Ruiz can come off for Moise Keane as well, and that'll do for now. So we'll get Perez on for the last game of the season. He actually dropped out of favour, obviously, once we signed Horta, but he's on now. Rodriguez into Diaz, tackled by Cathcart. Diaz picks it up, keeps going forward. Angelino intercepts well, up to Leao, into Joao Pedro, and it's Randolph again. He's too good as well. He's far too good. I should have said positive praise, but yeah, it's just been really good fun. I've really, really enjoyed it. I hope you guys have too as well. And if you have, like, subscribe, there'll be more thing. Moise Keane's in. Oh, go round the goalkeeper. Because one-on-ones are so broken in Football Manager, I'm basically trying to teach all my strikers to now go round the goalkeeper when they're through one-on-one. But it's not really paying off at the moment. So, but it's been really good. Yeah, and again, let me know in the comments below who you'd want to see me do this Back to Prem series with. Obviously, the only stipulation is that they had to be in the original 1992 Premier League season. But this has been absolutely fantastic. What a way to see out the season with a good 2-0 win away from home at Watford, where we've been pretty relaxed, to be honest. Dressing room, yeah, appreciate the efforts. In we go, bosh. That is how long it takes me to play one Premier League game in this save. And we get 6th. We get 6th because Chelsea had a 9 better goal difference than us. So you probably argue they deserve 5th. But that is absolutely brilliant. Man United have done the double as well. They won the Premier League, which is great. Wood impresses. We received £31 million and we've qualified for the Europa League. And we pay out 1.7 million as well. So not that much. It's doing an automatic save. But we'll be back to go through all of the end of season stuff and see who's won what. So at the end of season 3, we have players inducted into the best 11. Brahim Diaz was the pick of the 2, and Ricardo Rodriguez has got in, but he doesn't get into the starting 11 ahead of Boller. Boller's still in there with the higher average rating. End of season awards, Ricardo Rodriguez gets player of the season for the club. He didn't win player of the year in the Premier League. It went to Marco Verratti of Man United. But Ryan Brewster and then Gonzalo Montiel gets player of the season at 1, 2, 3. Brahim Diaz scored against Chelsea. I'm not too sure why we can't watch it. Is that a glitch? It might be a glitch. Signing the season, Ricardo Rodriguez. Young player of the season, Ryan Brewster, who finished third in the Golden Boot. 8 goals behind winner Mohamed Salah. There's the season review. Moment to forget, losing 4-1. Match of the season winning 6-1 against Southampton, which was wonderful. The club vision, whatever, doesn't matter. We're not going to carry on. Squad dynamics, everybody's happy. Squad end of season break, and let's go to Singapore, even though we're not going to play it. It's been an absolutely fantastic save. It's been such good fun. Ryan Brewster's broken all sorts of records in it as well. It's as I said, it's given me a chance to manage a team that I would never ever pick because I've got no interest in managing them. But it's been really good fun. Wages to turnover ratio. So Leicester are the biggest spenders in the Premier League after spending 61% of their turnover on wages. So we spend the least turnover on wages with 32%. Well, there you go. There you go, Mr. Gibson, making you money all the time. But let's go and have a bit of a little flick through then. So if we go to the club info. So obviously we took over there where we finished 7th in the Sky Bet Championship. That's the season we started in this season, sorry. So we finished 2nd in the Sky Bet Championship. Finished that off after that with a 15th league position finish where we were flirting with relegation at some point. But to go from 15th to 6th in a season, I think is absolutely brilliant. If we look at the transfers that we've had going through the history of time. So obviously we started it with 2 very odd signings in Darren Fletcher and Lucio. Lucio stayed on at the club and has been promoted to under 18s manager from a coach, which is good. And Darren Fletcher is still playing at Stade Bretois. So good for him. Good for him. I think they both helped us out massively when they had to. Ryan Brewster has obviously been sensational. He's been on loan with us every season we've been at the club. And his best season was this season in the Premier League. It just goes to say it all, really. I hope he gets given... You'd like to think Liverpool would give him a chance with how he's actually played this year in the Premier League. Luca Navarro is still in our under-23s. I did say we probably wouldn't see him too much. He played 6 times for us in the league after signing, and then he didn't play at all in the last 2 seasons. Peter Gills, I don't know who that is. Matty Longstaff came in on loan. He did all right for us and then got relegated with Newcastle. So make of that what you will. James Garner came in on loan, was really, really good actually in that libero role. Played much better than I thought he would. Went back to Man United, played 2 games and then moved to the Championship on loan for Swansea. Tony Gallagher, don't know who. Oh yeah, he was the left back, wasn't he? Don't think he featured at all for us. No, he didn't. Callum Slattery came in and filled the attacking midfield role while we needed him to. Before we got some reinforcements in, and Oscar Burr from Wolves came in on loan, and you could see where the difference. I think this is where obviously we got to January and we were panicking a little bit about numbers in the squad, and we were trying to get them increased into the second season then. And this is where we started spending some money. So the first season, we spent 325k in total, all on loans. The second season, £55 million was spent. Roman Says came in and is now transfer listed at the club. Obviously did really well in his first season. 6.7 in 30 appearances. It isn't too bad for a makeshift libero. Sam Byram came in from Norwich. 13 appearances last year. 1 appearance this season. Really has dropped off the radar since signing Montiel. Riddell Richards played. There you go. He's at Dover on loan from Bristol City. Bought him off us and then loaned him out to Dover. Didn't even know that what happened. Eric Bailly for £12 million. Absolutely superb signing in my opinion. Really good last season. Even better this season. Really happy with that. Sean Longstaff came in for a whopping £19 million. Massively overpaid. However, he did do pretty well, but you can see where we bought him more reinforcements. He played half the games that he did for us in his first season. Boya Marejo for 7.5 million, sold for a profit, and at the end of the day, that's what really matters. He's done very well for Brighton in the Championship. Ante Kodic, very happy with this signing. 6.5 million, 35 appearances, 8 goals, 6 assists, 7.15. Dropped off a little bit this season, no goals, money, a lot less assists, but we had much more competition for places for him as well. Deshaun Bernard, Timo Odesina, don't care about them. Manuel Lanzini joined on loan as well on the summer deadline day. Came in and did pretty well for us, actually, on loan. 20 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist, 6.8 average rating. And then we got into January, where the influx of Spanish players made a huge difference to us avoiding relegation. He came in on loan, 16 appearances, 7 goals, 3 assists and a 7.22. And then we renewed his loan this season, 30 appearances, 9 goals, 8 assists and a 7.16. Abel Ruiz was fantastic. Brahim Diaz came in as well to try and secure us from relegation and helped out. 13 appearances, 3 goals, 6.87. But this season is where he's really come alive. 37 appearances, 5 goals, 5 assists and a 7.05 for the young Spaniard. Jesus Vallejo joined from Real Madrid as well. Didn't really have the impact I thought he would. He played a few games in after signing in January. Only 2 appearances this year. Probably if we're carrying this save on, we'd probably look to sell him. And then in the final season, £132 million spent for little old Middlesbrough. And it started mainly with Rob Holding, who I think has been absolutely superb. Is now wanted by Newcastle and Wolves. 35 appearances, 1 goal, 3 assists, 7.06. A superb season for Rob Holding. Gonzalo Montiel, absolutely wonderful signing. Go check him out in your saves if you haven't yet. £21 million he's worth. We bought him in for £5 million. 36 appearances, 4 goals, 10 assists at 7.19. Absolutely ludicrous. Don't know Carl Joseph, don't care about him. Joel Pereira came in. He played 1 game for us in the cup, and got a 6.8, and then we lost on a penalty shootout. But a decent backup for the price. Nothing really to report there. Nicola Moro, again, a player I've never even heard of. Never bought him before. He, really solidified us. He made Longstaff completely redundant. And we got him for nearly half the price. And it's absolutely ridiculous. 24 appearances, 1 goal, 2 assists, 6.95. He was there to solidify the defensive role in midfield. Moise Keane, £54 million from Everton. The big money signing. Started really, really well and actually had a good season. 27 appearances, 10 goals, 2 assists, 7.07. His most highest goal scoring season ever in his career. Absolutely superb signing, that one. Very happy to get him in. I was delighted when we finalised that one. But who would have thought a left wing back would have been the best signing, my best signing, in my opinion, of the whole save. 12.75, 34 appearances, hardly missed a game, 9 league goals from left wing back, 8 assists, 7 player of the match awards, 7.51. When you compare that to what he did when Man United bought into the Premier League and then Watford loaned him, he loved being a left wing back in this setup. He was absolutely phenomenal. For 12.75 million, that's ridiculous. We bought in Iosi Perez as well as a bit of a more of an emotional signing for me. I just like the way the guy plays football. I think he's really useful. Matched his Everton stats, even though we got him for a lot cheaper. 6.68, 11 appearances, 1 goal. And I think he did okay, to be honest. I don't think he was as bad as he could have been. Good backup player. And then in January, Andre Horta came in. Again, I think this guy ticked us over the line to get into the Europa League. 13 appearances, 2 goals, 6.94. Really good competition for College in the attacking midfield role. Definitely go check him out if he's transfer listed on your save. Go and pick him up. And then Leandro Paredes, the man that got a red card on his debut, actually turned out, and he got all those appearances when Mora got his big injury and was absolutely phenomenal. 9 appearances, 2 assists, 7.17 in a defensive midfield role. I'm happy with those stats. I really am. And that is all the signings we made in 3 years of being Middlesbrough manager. No money spent, a little bit of money spent, a wodge of money spent. In terms of the outs, let's just see. So we made 800k in the first season, 20.5 million in the second season, and 29.5 million in the second season. Of course, a lot of these was bought on debt, so we'll still be playing clubs. And it's only fair to show you, this is what I mean. But I knew I had 3 years, so I didn't have to worry about financial things of the club. If we go to debts and loans, we owe £73 million in transfer fees to other people. Which is fine. It doesn't bother me. I think even if you stay in the Premier League for like 2 seasons, you clear that quite easily. But let me know down below, who do you think the signing of the save was? I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. It's been something different for me. There will be more of these coming to the channel in the future. I won't put a date yet on when the next one will be starting, but it will be starting soon. I will take on all your opinions on board of who you think should be the next Back to Prem series. But thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, go and check out one of these series on the side. Subscribe if you're new. Sign up to Patreon if you want to support the channel a little bit more. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the series. But for now, I'm out. Cheers.